In South Africa's tough economic climate, employee benefits are no longer just a tick box exercise. Siyasanga Kashe, Executive Member Solutions at Momentum Corporate, believes they are a powerful tool to build household wealth, promote financial inclusion, and drive long term economic growth, especially for young and underserved workers. Sia, it's great to have you.
Great to be here. Thank you for the opportunity, Renate.
Let's maybe start with your role as executive of member solutions at Momentum Corporate. What does your day-to-day work involve, and how does it tie into the broader mission of expanding access to employee benefits? Something I know you are very passionate about.
Absolutely. So, at the heart of my role is really around helping members engage, understand, and benefit from the employee benefits. This means, making, not only employee benefits accessible and well communicated, but just ensuring that they are also meaningful. So, this is from retirement to, trauma counseling as well, and ultimately ensuring that, you know, benefits provide are a tool for dignity, in members' lives, and financial, resilience at the end of it all. So they shouldn't just see it as another item on their payslip, but really about long-term value.
Yeah. Research shows that households receiving employee benefits own 60% of all household wealth in South Africa. Why do you think access remains so limited? And what are the most of the urgent gaps advisors should be aware of?
60% is striking. And it
Yeah.
basically just shows, how powerful, employee benefits are in contributing to household wealth. When we look at research, it shows that I think about a third of households, have some sort of benefit. Um, and a large part of this problem is really around the lower income group and also the youth that don't have access to employee benefits because their jobs or the work arrangements that they're in don't offer formal benefits. So advisors need to look beyond your traditional clients and really focus on your low income earners and also the youth to encourage them to save early and also to push for inclusion. So more so around, I would say, your small employers, your contract workers, and also the youth to just support them in having a financial stability.
Yeah, I think that is where they most certainly do exist a big gap
Yeah.
within the smaller companies. It's just easy to not give that employee benefits. And actually, there are so many things that you can do. It doesn't have to break the bank, but you can make a difference in a low income earner's life, right?
100%. 100%.
Advisors often focus on product selection and investment returns, but your message is about long term financial inclusion. What role can advisors play in reframing benefits as a tool for building wealth, household wealth?
So advisors are in a powerful position to tie the dots between employee benefits, and life, long life outcomes. It's not just about the performance of the product. It's really about, creating benefits, that have a lasting impact in people's lives. When an advisor helps a young person start saving early, they ensure that, um, people get the habit of saving. And these
Mm.
young workers and individuals then contribute, to household wealth. If I think about a low income earner that has got a benefit or a product that will support them where they don't have the income and how impactful that will be. So it's not just about selling a policy, it's really around helping the household build wealth, plan for their futures and also break the cycle of poverty. That's the
Yeah.
big picture, I'd say.
Yeah, and I think when an employer gives and you let the employee give, you starting to form a habit and they will see the end result of that saving. And it's like you say, breaking the cycle of poverty. I don't think we realize exactly how important that role is.
Sure.
You mentioned in an article that I've read, a virtuous cycle where broader access to benefits supports GDP and employment. Can you explain the relationship and what it means practically for employers and their advisors?
All right. It's actually quite a compelling cycle because data shows us that 1% increase in employee benefits um, is associated with a 0.31% increase in GDP.
Yo.
And we all know that GDP leads to employment, and when people are employed, it also leads to an increase in benefit participation. So the more people are covered, the more our economy grows. And that's a stronger safety net for all of us. So employers and advisors can really help, in encouraging or educating members to invest and save, because we see that it's not really about just good for staff, but it's also good for our national savings and our economy. So it is a win-win at the end of the day.
We've touched on the youth. Youth unemployment is a major concern. And even among employed young people,
Yeah.
benefits are scarce. How can advisors influence employers to include benefits in a simple thing like internships and really entry level roles? Sometimes they probably don't feel it's justified, but
Sure.
that is a process and it's a place where you can really start changing lives, right?
Absolutely. So I would say advisors can start with providing evidence. And we see that among the youth that is employed and that have benefits, they hold 57% of youth wealth and also almost 90% in pension and insurance assets, which is quite transformative. So advisors should highlight that even, your smallest contribution goes a long way. And it starts, teaching or encouraging young people, to start saving early, to protect themselves, to build wealth, to build a dignity. Um, Internships and entry level jobs, I would say, is a good place to start in terms of embedding a culture of saving. It's not about high cost always. It's really about the high impact that we're looking for. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. It's not about high cost, but high impact because it's something that you educate them basically on.
Yeah.
Momentum Corporate's modern take on benefits includes trauma counseling, income protection, and flexibility. How are you seeing advisor conversations evolve around these very non-traditional offerings?
Okay, so Renette, the shift is actually happening. We're seeing that advisors are increasingly recognizing and appreciating, that benefits, need to reflect the human side of work. So financial tools are really critical. So not discounting that, but they're just as important as mental wellness. Um, you know, if we look at income support, when a worker doesn't have, income or wages, and then they've got a solution that kicks in, when they need, financial support. So we need to look at structures that really support people, during their different life stages. So the conversations are really helping shape, yeah, businesses in terms of building loyalty and showing that employers actually care. Um, so mental wellness is really just as important as I would say, wealth as well.
And how important is flexibility? What have you picked up in conversations with advisors?
So I'll link that back to the life stages. People sometimes are afraid to save because they think that their funds are going to be locked in for an indefinite period, and it's not always the case. So when we've got solutions that are flexible, that require people to maybe save less or save more, that's also quite beneficial. So advisors need to, I guess, really also surface, these type of solutions, so that people are not really scared that what if I don't have money next month to be able to pay for my
Yeah.
solutions, that there are options that are.
Okay. Okay, cool. In your view, Sia, what practical policy changes or employer incentives would help advisors push for broader benefits adoption, particularly, we spoke about it, for vulnerable and lower income workers?
Yeah. So I would say perhaps government-backed, wage subsidies or, tax incentives that include benefits can go a long way. At the moment, we've got a lot of young workers, vulnerable workers, and also youth that don't have access to benefits because either their jobs that they're in don't offer these benefits, and that's really a missed opportunity. So I would say we just, with the support of advisors, need to ensure that these programs, government programs, include, employee benefits, and they will be equipping vulnerable workers, with long-term goals, not just the short-term income that they're currently getting. So advisors can really play a key role in advocating for these kind of policy shifts as well.
And I assume there's a lot of education that has to go with this, because if people can barely put food on the table, barely go through their budget, they might feel that I don't even have money to save. So I suppose we need some innovation, and we need some education in this space, because yes, I don't have that money, but maybe we start with some form of education to get that long-term message through to them, right?
100%. So Renee, that's exactly what we do in my space. We work very closely with advisors to provide financial education advisors and retirement benefit counselors, to provide education in the different languages, and also
Okay.
through various channels, to be able to reach, our members, particularly for that very reason, so that people are not scared, because insurance can be quite complex. So
Yeah,
we need to
very much.
demystify employee benefits, so that we can get our young workers and low income earners to start thinking about it differently.
Yeah, 100%. Finally, Sia, if you could share one insight with advisors about why employee benefits matter more than ever in today's economic environment, what would that be?
I would say, Rianette, employee benefits is not only just about perks. I'll even go as far as saying it's the only tool we have to create financial wealth, in South Africa. Um, the tool really helps us around protecting our families and adding value in members' lives. In uncertain times, people need wages, and they also need security and dignity, um, and giving them hope for the future, I would say. So advisors who really champion inclusive and human-centered benefits are really helping us build a better and a more fair South Africa.
Oh, just a quick question. What do you see in terms of the really small businesses? Is there more of an awareness around employee benefits, or is that still something that's not really priority for the real small SMMEs? And maybe how do we change that conversation?
I think for the small SMMEs, there needs to be some financial education as well that's targeted to those groups. I think how they see employee benefits is, something that they can't afford, for their
Yeah,
members. And I think if we demystify that as well, there are solutions out there that are designed for SMMEs, but I don't think they
yeah,
know about it. So we need to be more, I guess, vocal, about these solutions, because you don't have to take, disability, pension. You can start small,
100%.
by offering,
Yes, 100%.
small benefits and then grow from there. So there really is an important part that advisors can play in the space.
Yeah,
Yeah, to be
yeah.
more inclusive,
No,
as I
I
say,
agree. It's all about the education, right?
100%.
Thank you, thank you, Sia, for your time. One last message maybe to the FAnews audience, the brokers, the advisors, the guys that might or might not deal with Momentum Corporate?
I would say Momentum Corporate is well suited to assist you, in assisting your clients and your members, with the right solutions. We prioritize wellness and mental well-being just as much as wealth solutions as well. So we also prioritize servicing our brokers, and really value your feedback where you perhaps feel that we haven't perhaps met your needs, but we're really here to partner and to make an impact together in the lives of South Africans. Thanks.
Thank you, Sia, for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Janet.